Good morning. Doing a quick check here to make sure that everything is showing up properly. Hopefully it is. I've been having a few little technical issues this morning. So while we're figuring that out, check out this sweet menu here. Gotta say, I really appreciate this whole situation. It's like they show them all warping in and everything, just kind of coming in and out and landing. And this progresses more and more as time goes on. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, for those that didn't know, Xenonauts 2 is, well, it's been in development for a good long while. And yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. Just so you know, like it says right here, this is still in beta here. So a quick little thing. I've put threads and whatever else, trying to figure out whether or not this is streamable for a good long while. Never gotten a definitive answer, although I've been told several times this is the version that is allowed now. So I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that's correct. So, disclaimers right off the bat. This is still in beta. This is still in development. This isn't a completed thing by any stretch of the imagination, but I just wanted to do a bit of a stream thing here to kind of discuss it, show what's going on, all that kind of thing. Because yeah, there's a decent bit of discussion for it, but there's rarely a chance to say, like, here, here's this thing right here, let's all discuss this thing right here without, making a whole big song and dance of it. So yeah, without any further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get this thing going here. Not all the difficulties are in yet. Let's see, they have a little campaign name randomizer, which is pretty awesome. Stone Herald, that sounds amusing, I suppose, we'll go with that. Difficulties changed their names for this one, so like I said, this is the only difficulty available at the moment. It's what they're bouncing it for. We're going to go ahead and slap on Iron Man mode. I mean, it works. It definitely does its job. We're just going to leave it on for the hell of it. It's definitely not recommended, because it's still kind of early. But, just for the sake of saying that we did. We're definitely gonna run into technical issues here and there. I mean, stuff's always getting fixed, stuff's always getting updated, all that kind of thing. Like, for example, the last Iron Man campaign I ran into had a bit of a crash because I put down too many... I think it was like 4 C4s and 3 grenades going off at the same time, except it was going weird with some of the terrain, so a bunch of stuff went wrong. But yeah, most stuff works surprisingly stable, though. I will say that much. Like, considering that they've mentioned several times, like, it's not ready, just so everyone knows, like, a lot of stuff is surprisingly functional. I'll go over stuff that they've mentioned as something that they're working on as we go along, because I try to keep track of everything that's everything that's being posted and whatever else, to get every little breadcrumb possible. Here, let me do a quick sound check. 1 second. Alright, and I'm back. So, it doesn't look like the sound's coming through, so let's see if turning up the volume to there did the job. See if it does it, and just so you know, I've done a few little testing videos here and there for this. The loading times are dramatically slower on stream, just so you know. Obviously it's not fully optimized or any of that just yet, but just so you know. First of all, the music in this one. Massive step up from the first one, I feel. Like, obviously, stuff will vary, there's some placeholders and all that kind of thing, but yeah, the music, like, especially the air game music, is just... It's really, really good for the setting. So, alright, so they actually... I believe they're actually putting a little bit of a tutorial in for this one. They've mentioned it several times. But there used to be a mention here of the Atlas base. So the idea is that there was the original Xenonaut base. If you're wondering about the plot of this game and whatever else, like, the original Xenonauts takes place in the 70s. So this is just an alternate timeline where, like, the Xenonauts were set up and everything, but the invasion just never happened. Like, they knew it was coming, but it didn't happen in the 70s. So they just held back, And so they're like, okay, wait, Cold War is happening, whole world's about to go eat itself up, let's just go ahead and make that happen instead of committing to a full invasion. And so what you see in the original text was that there was another base, and they just got overwhelmed immediately. So basically what's going on with this one here is that, they removed that text. They have mentioned wanting to do an intro. So I have a theory that they're probably going to let you do, like, a little bit of, like, oh, your first base is already set up. Here's everything going. Here's how everything works. Oh, wait, dead. Now start the actual game kind of situation, which I think would make for an amazing intro, personally. But we'll see how that goes. All right. So I want to set up, we're going to need an airbase. So you basically have a technically kind of centralized base type thing. Like you build different bases, but they're more like sub bases. Like you have your layout that kind of just applies to everything, as it were. I'm gonna have to check to make sure that that's actually still accurate. So you'll notice all these little antenna things all throughout the map. Those are your little side missions that you can send people out on. Right now, they're kind of just one and done type situations that they pop up every month, but I'm actually going to go for the U.S. here, so we're going to go ahead and go for World Police over here. If I can figure out how to type. Alright. So yeah, these are basically little side missions you can send people out on, but the idea is that this time around, you're not necessarily going for here's your one region, and then you just expand that one region, and if you don't get any UFOs there, congratulations, your impossible run is over. Or your insane run, rather. Because, yeah, anyone that liked to run insane in the original Xenonauts probably ran into that frustrating issue where, like, if you don't run into 2 scouts immediately, you're pretty much boned. But either way, these are like little missions you can send out to improve relations with those regions. So you've got like a little guide right here showing you how you're doing with each of them. You start off at 50 everywhere. Ooh, thank you for the follow. Oh, actually, hello there, level 1 alts. Thank you for the raid type situation there. Appreciate it. So yeah, Xenonauts 2. Again, just throwing that second disclaimer out there. I don't know if this is technically allowed to be streamed yet, but I have heard that this is the version that it's allowed. And second off, nobody said no. The first time around, they definitely said no. I've asked several times now, nobody said no, so we'll just assume this is fine. But again, this is early. This is beta still. This is a development build, so just so everyone's aware, this is not released. This is not like public access or anything yet. This is still in development. So, all right, million disclaimers out of the way. What else has changed? So yeah, these you may notice they're a lot more prevalent than before because your relations are actually getting constantly bombarded in this version. Right now we're running the experimental branch here. This is basically the one that's testing out a new feature, which is, like I said, orbital bombardments. So every week or so, they'll hit whatever your top region is for 20 of their relations. And so what you do, you basically have these right here, your little side missions. You assign people to go help out those regions, help out with little miniature things here and there. Right now it's just you are sending people, you get stuff out of it. But that's how you improve your relations kind of over time. Every time you get a good research going that affects everybody, you just improve it across the board. So there's a lot more kind of give and take type of a situation. So okay, let me put it this way. In the original, you were pressured by the fact that more and more UFOs kept coming, and by the time you got to Phase 4, it was completely overwhelming. Like, they were friggin' everywhere. Although, if you kept up with your tech, you could basically hold them off indefinitely. In this one, that won't be possible, because like I said, every week you're getting hit in your relations here. You only have so many missions to go around, but you have enough to keep most of them relatively stable. So yeah, none of this stuff is fully balanced yet. So, what else has changed is you actually have one universal layout for your bases. Don't know why I'm going over there. I guess it's because I'm used to the wrench being the build icon. But yeah, this is your main base type situation here. So we're actually just going to go for one of these and one of these. It's the usual thing I like to start with, because power tends to run out pretty quick in this one. We need the living capacity, so we need a living quarters. So usually those are my first 3 buildings. You have 1 extra hangar, and that's the other cool thing that they actually changed in this most recent version. All of your planes are universal. So, well, kind of. They went for a more modular system in this one. So normally, in the original Xenonauts, you'd have your Falcon and you'd have your Foxtrot. So your Foxtrot is your heavy, your Falcon is your light. Your heavies can't dodge, but they get torpedoes. So in this one, you can go for the heavy plating here, gives them another 50% health, and they can't dodge anymore. But then, yeah, you can just go for the basic one, keep the dodge roll. Right now, they're in the process of actually rebalancing this because 100 health is not enough to lose the friggin' dodge roll. Because the dodge roll is amazing, and you definitely don't want to be losing that. I'm not sure what they're going to do with the torpedoes, because right now we're down to just sidewinders, so I'd assume they're probably going to have, like maybe if you run heavy plating, you can run sidewinders or something, or run torpedoes again. I'm not sure. Like, maybe you replace your cannon with heavy hard points, or who knows. But yeah, we'll see how that goes over time. So, as far as modular stuff, also this. So, modular armor is in. It's in its early phases. This is just the most recent one that's come out. So basically, you have the option of packing on a little bit more weight and sacrificing some stats. Like, for example, the rebreather makes somebody immune to gas, but it reduces their accuracy a little bit. I don't believe it actually shows the numbers anywhere at this point, because again, this literally just came out and they just barely got this patch out. So, so yeah, a little bit of patience and all that, but yeah, so for example, that's supposed to reduce accuracy. This just gives you a little bit more bulk, but it weighs a decent bit. Personally, my feelings on trying out the basic version so far, I feel like the Kevlar should probably be a bit heavier. Because, I mean, 5 weight for, whatever amount of extra defense, 5 weight's nothing. That's like remove 1 magazine and you get something else. As far as the rebreather, I don't know how much accuracy it actually removes. I haven't seen any effect from that yet, so that'll presumably be more of a thing later on. But yeah, definitely worth it. So far, in this build, I'm seeing it as worth it to just keep everything on everyone. Another thing you may notice, you start off with stun batons now. So your stun batons and whatever else are just a secondary that you happen to have over here. You can swing those at any time. That's another thing that they're working on, because right now the UI for that's a little bit clunky. So they were trying to figure out a more elegant way to work in secondaries. But yeah, instead of having one-handed or two-handed weapons, you can have whatever here. Like for example, you can have an assault rifle and a SMG if you want. Like most of your snipers start off with this kind of build right here. Oh, what's up, kiddo? What you up to? Alright, and I'm back. Daughter needed some strawberry milk. But yeah, so a lot of stuff is just basically updated from the first one, as you'd expect. The primary secondary system, I like it so far. It's definitely less clunky than the old, like, moving stuff around. You get that nice bit of it's that nice little mix of still having that simulation aspect, while still, adjusting for new game here. So it's pretty good. As far as initial kind of balance goes here, you have 2 people that you can send out on missions, and then you have, personally I like to send them out one at a time. Right now, it doesn't make much of a difference. They've mentioned for the future, when it comes to these little side missions and whatever else, they mentioned that the more people you send, the more likely they are to succeed, so there would be a chance for injuries and failure in those missions. So for the time being, I just like to send out 1, because, I'm sure they'll change it eventually. But you basically get all of this stuff. So you get your 50,000, you get your free scientist, your free engineer, your free relations. So, again, it's supposed to get more of a cost as time goes on. What else haven't we covered? We don't have anything in engineering yet. As far as hiring people, I'm really glad that they fixed this in the most recent one. But it drove me up the dang wall that the original living capacity was 26, and then they had 24 people. It's like, why? Why are there slightly too few people here? But yeah, no. You actually start off maxed out in this one, which yeah, feels all right. It feels like they actually were trying when they set this up. So I'm gonna have a little bit of time pass. They moved the time clock up here, so that you have more of a view of everything going on. What does the funding report look like? Yeah, this is still from original Xeno. Is this music coming through, by the way? Because I can't really tell on my end, and this music is amazing. Basically, this is XCOM. It's basically, well, I mean, Xenonauts. Okay, so Xenonauts was basically a modernizing of the original XCOM. So, for example, you didn't have as many of the like building projects and whatever else. So, for example, like you researched fusion explosives, and suddenly just everything is fusion now. You don't have to go and build a bajillion of them. You don't have to worry about the logistics of it. It's just like everything is there now, but you still have that same gameplay. They added some new things like suppression and whatever else to the mix. Like shields and suppression were the big ground combat additions. The vehicles did more. And yeah, when it came to planes, you didn't have to worry about rebuilding new planes all the time. They just got rebuilt over time, so you just kind of had a death timer on your planes. And so yeah, your first research here for this one is the Mars. So the Mars is the replacement of the Hunter. So in Xenonauts 1, it took two crew slots and was basically a Humvee with a machine gun on it. In this one, it's basically like a little Shiv type situation. There is tactical combat. It's common. We actually got to shoot some stuff down for that to happen. But yeah, so it's Xenonauts is in essence it's supposed to be like the original XCOM, but more pleasant to play. Like, granted, mods did a hell of a lot for that game, but it is still clunky. Let's be honest. So yeah, it's supposed to make the entire experience a bit smoother. For this one, they went to a full 3D engine for the ground combat. In the original Xenonauts, it was still kind of 2D sprites and all that. It worked pretty well for the most part, especially with the X Division mod. Like, you could do some amazing stuff with that one. It did have its occasional jank and stuff that the engine was clearly not made for, but it was a fantastic game. So mostly working, but wanted to check it out. Heard top secret in discussion and was curious. Yes, this is the questionable if it's actually approved stream, because I've heard several times that this is the version that we're allowed to discuss it and stream it and whatever else. And nobody said no of the multiple times I've asked, so we'll just assume it's okay. I might get in trouble for this later, but hopefully not. But yeah, it's like Xenonauts, but it's fancier and it's got new stuff going on. And everything is all trying to be modular, which they've mentioned that they might be doing the modular thing for weapons, too. So a lot of this stuff is carryovers from the first one. It's still kind of TBD as far as what of this will be available at the start. Like, you start off with a stun baton, but you don't start with the stun grenades, which, honestly, that makes sense. You start off with a grenade launcher. Don't use the grenade launcher right now if you happen to have access to this. Yeah, they're still fixing that thing for some reason. Actually, I'm going to equip one person just to show you what I mean about that thing being scary. Let me pop that on there before I forget. Can we pop it as a secondary on anyone? I think it's only a primary, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, why don't we replace one of the assaults with a grenade launcher here? Yeah, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious how weird this thing can get at times. Yeah, there we go. He's only got 8 shots, but that's perfectly fine. That's more than enough to blow himself up. Actually, for that matter, I forgot to equip his armor. Hang on. Let me get all that going. I kind of hope that there's a button to add universal gear to everybody. Since yeah, right now, there definitely needs to be more penalty for the heavy armor. I've spoken to a lot of folks that have actually had to wear this kind of stuff in reality and all that kind of thing, and there's just complaints about this being ridiculously uncomfortable. So I would assume it should probably reduce reactions a little bit, but who knows. But yeah, so far we're just discussing what's new. So we got side missions, we got modular planes, modular armor. The vehicle is a single tile shiv type situation, a la XCOM EU and all that kind of thing. But the idea is you can slap whatever guns you want on it. So it starts off with an LMG. Oh, by the way, the HMGs became LMGs in this one, so they fire 5 shots instead of 10. And then are basically made. In early versions, they fired twice, so it was basically X Division balance. In this one, they only seem to fire once, so it kind of seems to be a sharp downgrade from the ones in the first Xenonauts, which honestly it's fine. It makes sense. They were pretty OP. Like, especially running, whenever doing Insane and whatever else, most of the time I had people running those. You see the occasional slowdown as far as the geoscape. This is as of only the most recent version, so I'm not sure why it does this. It seems to be whenever there's UFOs up in play, it's just trying to make sure that everything's where it needs to be. But by the way, so is this music coming through before I start this? Like, can you hear the music? Because this has the best air game music I've seen in the genre, I think. It's like if you made a dramatic orchestral remix of both the Interceptor theme from the original XCOM and then mixed it with Telltale Heights from Zelda. That's the only way I can describe the music for this. Whatever, screw it. Let's just let this music play for a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got a bug. We got a bug right here. This is the one that I took the heavy plating on and off of, and its dodge roll is just disabled. Let's report that. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is pretty new, just so you know. I know I've said it several times now, but just so you know. But yeah, aside from all that, the air game is pretty well, you know, pretty well new. Pretty well like the first one here. Also, your first UFOs actually have the ability to dodge. I have no idea what this plane's doing. There we go. It tried to dodge a second time, but it couldn't. And then, yeah, you get these little white boxes when it's trying to decide landing spots. There we go, it spawned that one. Now, I wonder if this one can still take on this one by chance. There we go. And we can go ahead and get a ground mission started. I don't believe night missions are in yet, but you do have more map types. You have more stuff going on the maps and all that kind of thing. Airstrikes and prices in general are quite a bit different this time around. I want to bring the Mars rover along. There it is. And it's just like, we slapped a machine gun on a little robot drone. And they actually mentioned in this version they just get deleted once they're beaten. When it comes to the when it comes to actually rebuilding them, that's something that they're going to add in the next version, or that they've mentioned adding to the next version. You also might be noticing we have a helicopter, but the overworld sprite for the thing is like a jet thing. That actually used to be the dropship. I think they said it was the Osprey or something like that, like a stubby version of the Osprey. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it was basically that. And I wish I knew why it did this little chug on the overworld map. I was hoping that was just an issue with my first campaign, but oh well, it doesn't affect anything too much. It's just a little bit, you know, a little bit janky as it happens. But yeah, so the original dropship was that well, this thing right here. It's like a little helicopter, you know, tour plane kind of looking situation. And it looked really pretty, and it was cool that it had, you know, shadows for all the propellers that were still spinning down once you landed. But yeah, there were a lot of complaints about the layout of the thing, because it's supposed to land and they're supposed to hop out of the seats and all that kind of some suchery. But In practice, what ended up happening is that the thing landed, and then like one person stepped out, and then there was just Overwatch from both sides, and just everybody died. So yeah, it was kind of a bit of a death trap. So they went ahead and went back to the old helicopter for the time being. It was a really cool model, and I hope they find some way to reuse it. But yeah, that that thing was an absolute death trap. Anyhow, so for all y'all folks here, what is it that you want to see from this game? Like, out of curiosity, how many of you have played the first one? What kind of stuff do you want to see in it? Because I want to see if I can confirm whether or not there's stuff that's been, you know, already implemented or whatever else here. The curiosity is real. And like I said, load times are quite a bit faster playing it normally. Alright. So here's what the ground fights look like now. They're all 3D and all that kind of sumpsuchery. You may notice we don't have shields yet. You have to research those. There's almost always somebody to the side of the dropship. I will say that part I kind of feel could use some improvement. Because it's like a good 80% of the time they're right outside your dropship. There's just a group ready to ambush you. Actually, I've regularly joked that the, like right there, regularly joked that the pilot is a bit drunk because he always lands us right on top of the, little, Xeno dudes here. So yeah, a little bit of death lag there. It's fine. Again, it's, you know, it's early, but I have to say the impacts and everything else feel pretty alright so far. Movement is something else that's occasionally come up as a bit of a, you know, bit of a thing to work on. Occasionally you do get situations like, wait, what? Where are they? Oh, they're hiding over there. Yeah, whatever. Just pop the guy and run back in. Nice. Okay. So yeah, the HMGs are pretty good. Or the LMGs, rather. Again, they fire half as many shots, but they're actually balanced this time around, so stuff doesn't instantly die. That's potentially a good thing. You may notice there's two different versions of the Cesians. So you basically got these little engineer variants, which kind of look like sectoids. You got the standing ones, which look like original sectoids. So, yes, everything's going to get compared to XCOM. I know it's unfair, but whatever. You can kind of tell the inspiration with the little guys here. I'm going to have our crouch over here. As far as naming people for these campaigns and everything, I don't think you can actually name your units yet. That's still a work in progress. Also, movement costs have changed a little bit, so it's actually 4 per tile instead of 3. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it's resulted in a shorter movement range in general. I'd say it's probably not a bad thing, actually. I was kind of down on it at first, but I have to say in general, I've actually been pretty okay with the change. So can you make this shot? Surprisingly. Ah. Well, maybe not. But yeah, the snipers, just like Xeno 1, are pretty competent. Tend to do their job pretty well. Didn't I just tell you to crouch? Might have double crouched him by mistake. Alright, 32 for an aimed shot. Let's make that happen. Nah. Keeps hitting that dang rock. Alright, well, either way, we're alright. Other mechanical changes, just so we can throw that out there. As far as secondaries, like you just basically select it. You know, it's nothing too mind-blowing. It's just there as a, you've got a few points left over, you know, here's this other weapon kind of situation. This unfortunate guy is having a really bad case of the Taco Bells, unfortunately. And yeah, we should be alright. This guy's just running a little pistol here. As you do. As you do. But yeah, I just adore the music in this. It feels like a nice mix of so many old games I played, as well as Men in Black music. It's like the ground combat really reminds me of Men in Black. The air game really reminds me of Telltale Heights from Link's Awakening. The everything else kind of makes me think of. It's weird to describe, but for some reason it reminds me of the UFO series, except like it gives a more optimistic feeling, if that makes sense. I'm not sure how to describe that, but either way. So right, I was going over weapon changes. So the next one we're going to show off right here is the fact that shotguns actually scatter differently. So they should be able to make that shot here. Can you make another, let's see, 14? Yeah, you should have enough to still duck back in the cover. So yeah, shotguns actually have a scatter of 4 now. Before it was a bit more severe. So the grenade launcher is pretty quick to fire, but also tends to backfire. So pretty fun thing in general. Like I really, really like the idea of the grenade launcher as a replacement for the old rocket launcher, since you don't actually have the rocket launcher this time around. It makes sense, but on the other hand, right now, it's so many times it's a very fantastic way to get yourself killed, because it does backfire a lot. So we're gonna have this unit throw out a smoke grenade in a moment. We need somebody. Let's probably go finish this guy off. Let's see, if you go about here. No, they're gonna be out of range. All right, just go here. You're gonna go there. You're gonna double burst fire this guy. You can double burst fire now. That's a nice change from the first one. God, your aim is awful. Way to miss everything. Now, let's go ahead and probably chuck a stun here. So stun grenades are a guaranteed suppression, by the way. Alright, not sure what just happened there, but okay. But I'd prefer to be able to capture that one if I can. I might have to go for one of the other ones, because that is really close. So they're going to go down. Now, smoke grenades work a bit differently, and that this time around, instead of severely lowering your aim, it's basically 0. So you more or less can't aim through that now. So if you have a 0% chance to hit, you're not allowed to fire, which it seems like it'd be a frustrating change, but actually I'm pretty happy about it. I definitely expected to be more upset about that one, because I love to cheese that so much in the original, but it does feel good. It does definitely feel good to have that change there. So far, I've been liking the kind of map layouts that are around as well. Just because there's a bit more cover, it feels a bit more like. Okay, so one thing that they actually were adjusting for this game is to try and make the cover and terrain and everything else a bit more durable, because it did have those moments in original Xeno that. Like, for example, you'd fire an HMG into a building and half the dang house was gone. Which is fine, it's fun, but it also has its kind of downsides there. So they were going for a bit more of a grounded feel, I think, for this one. It definitely feels that way. In early versions, you actually could do the exact same thing with entire UFO walls and everything. Which, by the way, UFO walls are also destructible now. Just like they were in original XCOM and all that. But yeah, in general, though, it's not something that you do very often. In early builds of it, there was actually a bit of a bug that caused ballistic weapons to do unusual amounts of damage to UFO walls. So you could just, not to mention they didn't have the scaling to use in yet. So you just had a situation where you could give everybody HMGs and just completely lay waste the entire map, as they could fire like 6 times in one round. It was great. It was just, man. It was fascinating. Get out of here with your little machine pistol. Alright, what is going on with stun grenades here? Huh. I mean, they seem to have their AoE. It just seems like the ground effect tiles aren't showing up. Let's report that in. There we go. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, if any of y'all have questions, shoot them. Let me know. And I'll see if I can answer them. Yeah, like right here in the smoke, we're just not allowed to fire. Actually, one thing they can potentially do to cheese that, though, is that. Well, at least he's suppressed. But he's in smoke. He should be safe. Unfortunately, that one's down from the double snipers. So damage, relatively similar to the original. You know, 2 snipers will be enough to take down a Cesian. The little monkey guys are a bit less resilient, so there's that. I'm just going to run this guy up here. Hopefully he'll be safe. More than likely, they're just going to try to take some point-blank shots here. Do I have anyone with a smoke grenade? You have a regular. You just have that. We might as well start moving you up this way then. As these guys are... Well, actually, this guy's probably going to take the shots here, but hopefully they'll hit the tree instead. They shouldn't technically be allowed to fire through that smoke. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, I feel like in terms of cover, stuff's been pretty dramatically improved in this one. It definitely feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. This also isn't the best graphical setting, by the way. I just have it set to kind of about a medium. If you set it up all the way, it looks very pretty. But there we go. Let's go over here. Turn you this way. This guy makes me think of Phineas from Outer Worlds. Alright. Then again, at the same time, this one looks like Ellie. Which is funny, because I was pretty down on Outer Worlds recently, and now I'm seeing it everywhere. Alright, well, he's slightly more dead than expected. Oh, jeez. Man, get that guy a medal. Holy crap. So yeah, right now their AI is pretty terrible. Just so you know, it actually hasn't been fully implemented. Pretty much the only AI they have right now is run forward and attack. So, pretty basic. Let's see if we can get some plank off on this one. Boo. Wanted to capture that one. Alright, there we go. He's injured. Gonna go ahead and go for the baton. One feature I've asked for repeatedly is the ability to zoom in a little more, because I'd love to get a nice action shot here, but unfortunately, no such luck. Yeah, some of the animations are a little weak. Like this one right here, the, baby's first stun animation here is a little bit... I don't know, it's a little bit weird looking. It's funny, because in earlier versions, whenever units got knocked out, they still showed up alive. So you would basically only be able to finish the map if you finished off your already stunned units, but they showed up as stunned when you captured, or when you went to the menu later. Kind of a weird bug there. So when it comes to probes, pretty much all you need is 2 shotguns. I believe one of my shotgunners went down, so we can settle for 2 or 3 of just about everything else. Alright, we'll have you go here. I just love this music, though. Everything about the music in this one has been absolutely up my alley. Also, wait a minute, are you bleeding? I mean, yes, they look like they've basically splattered ketchup all over the place, but they didn't get a bleeding wound. So, yes, the bleeding mechanic is back. I feel like it's a bit more reasonable in this one, though. So, one of the issues original Xeno had was that pretty much any small scratch could leave you with a bleeding wound, and yeah. I feel like they're less common. Like, I feel like it's more of a critical effect in Xeno 2. Like, I haven't seen it popping up all the dang time. Not to mention, medkits are pretty lightweight, so it's not too much of an issue. I guess it was more of an issue for folks that were playing X Division, because yeah, those times when you ended up losing a bunch of rookies because somebody walked into a smoke grenade or something, that was a little bit rough. All right. It's like, yes, realistically, smoke grenades do burn people and all that, but I'm pretty sure it isn't enough that they would end up bleeding out within a few seconds. But okay. So normally, I would imagine with the original AI, they'd be sprinting out and getting ready to ruin everyone's day. But instead, they're going to sit by. Just so you know, if you have the TUs to use your secondary, you will automatically reaction fire with them. Grenade guy can stay here. I don't think grenades can reaction fire. Sure hope not. I don't think I have any of my shotguns on hand here. That's perfectly fine. I'd say the animations, of all things, make me think of Parasite Eve. It's kind of out there. Which they've mentioned, by the way, that they'll be adjusting some of this stuff as far as the animations go, because they look really casual at the moment. They're just kind of hanging out, you know, casual alien invasion and all that kind of thing. Normal, everyday stuff. But yeah, I don't want this guy to go in there because he's just going to go blow everything up, and that won't be a good thing. But what I will do is have him test whether the old wall bug still exists. So there was a weird bug. This actually shouldn't kill him because the grenade launcher only does like 30-something damage right now. It mostly does area of effect. It doesn't really do hard damage as much. But there was a bug that if you were standing next to a terrain thing, that you would actually aim at yourself for some bizarre reason. Also, you may notice that the AI is pretty aggressive. For some reason, most of the time, the NPCs will bum rush the UFO because they don't know what else to do, so everyone's just bum rushing their objective, and yeah. Alright, so let's see. If we fire right here, what will it do? Yeah, it still exists. Okay, well, they're gone. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, let's have this one go in, because they're in a bit better shape. Alright, and what are we looking at here? Looks like their pilot guy went down. That's their blue guy there. So we got 11%, 23%. Alright. Only suppressed. That's a bit of a bummer. We could pop off another shot with a pistol. He did not have enough to move. Which leads to this funny situation where they're just... like, they're one-handing an LMG and running in with a pistol. Which is hilarious. Alright, we're just gonna burst fire here. Because the other one probably won't have the points to get around. Then we'll pop this one around the corner. And all things being ideal, they should all hopefully make it out of this. Should, being the operative term. No guarantees, but they might. It's at least a 10% chance of them making it out. Alright, we'll run you up here. I mean, one way or another, we've got everyone already off to the side here, so next turn will guaranteed be the end of them. If, as far as I can surmise here, you don't really get anything extra for capturing more than one of any particular kind of unit. But another change that I really like, one change that I really like is that as far as your line of sight, if you saw something, it remains visible until you end your turn. So you don't have that issue from Xeno 1 where you'll occasionally, like, you take your turn, you move somebody slightly and you turn them a little bit, and then you can't remember where something was, but you don't have the points to turn them back. I know that wasn't a universal problem, but it definitely got me more than once. Right. Unfortunately, their cover's pretty good there. So this one got injured. I'm just going to go ahead and... Right, you're not the one with a stun baton. Are you... Yes, you can take 2 swings on that one. I'm just going to go ahead and finish him off. Alright, 21... Alright, that was enough to do it. Like I said, a little bit of death lag. It's fine. And... let's see, where can you go and still burst fire? You can go right there. Yeah, enough shots will definitely still bust through a building, but... oh well. At a safe area, kind of. Not a super likely shot, but I figured I'd take it. Huh. Yeah, they're suppressed, so we should be fine one way or another. One thing I've noticed is that you don't seem to be able to suppress your own guys as easily, which is a very welcome change. Alright, so we need 16 to fire this. There we go. Perfect. And there we go. So as you can see, still about as brutal as the original. I will say, as far as the armor and stuff like that goes, I haven't seen too much of effect from it. I know it's technically doing its job. I would love to see some visual feedback of, like, here's how much damage your armor, protected you from. Here's how much it actually did. I always wanted to see that in the original. Like, I've always wanted to see armor condition and how much protection it actually provided. Not sure many others would like to see that kind of thing. But, yeah. So there's that. And this is when we finally start getting our other researches that we can go and do. Start getting more stuff to do. Another change from Xeno 1, you actually don't get your research materials until your jet or your transport makes it back to your base. That's something that was very, very cheesable in the first game. Especially when it came to bases, because you could just go repeatedly do base raids, get whatever tech you wanted, and bail, and then it would just immediately teleport back to your base. So you could do some pretty cheesy stuff with that. Which, if anyone's curious, I don't know if there's any speedrun record for the first Xenonauts, but I was considering to go and see about doing a few speedruns whenever possible. Because yeah, that game's very speedrunnable, and I kind of love it for that. Because really, all you need. Ooh. I haven't seen the revive mechanic in action yet here. I've been. As I recall, it is something that's still there. So as far as recoveries go, they don't have the thing yet that tells you how much research you get out of it. But yeah, we captured all this stuff anyway. Got a decent amount of stuff. They're wounded. Everyone else is fine. And there we go. Now we'll find out about our research as soon as it gets back to base. I wish it didn't do that 1 second little jitter tick, but what can you do? Come on. You can do it. You can do it, airplane. I believe in you. Except you're a helicopter, not an airplane. Is it a helicopter or is it an airplane? Who knows? It's a flying object that's got people in it. So, yeah. Alright, anyway, view research. As you can tell, everything else is running just fine. It's just the overworld that has some weird jank for some bizarre reason. So Fleet Survey is just figuring out their, figuring out how their UFOs work. Magnetic weapons is exactly what it sounds, so we'll just go for that one, because that's usually the sexy one you want to show off. And yeah, so they're like, oh man, these guys gave us hallucinations, and they also look like Abe from Abe's Oddworld. They look like Mudokons this time around. Let's see. Physiology of these scions bears a striking similarity to that of a human, although the muscle, skeletal structure, and circular, blah, 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 blah. I believe this is slightly redone from the Cesian stuff from before. I don't want to read too much into all of this stuff. Like, I'll leave it up for a second if you want to look at it. I don't want to read too much into all that stuff because it's subject to change, and, figure there's more stuff to show off. But it's pretty cool that they already have a decent chunk of it in there. Weighs approximately 90 kilograms and possesses a more robust skeletal structure. That really isn't that much. I would have thought somebody this chunky would weigh a bit more than that. And like, hell, I'm relatively stocky, and hell, I weigh like, what is it, like 180 or something. Let's see here. Then again, I might be just getting the kilograms and pounds thing mixed up. See, it appears the unusual characteristics of alien UFOs all stem from a single innovation, the ability to project an energy shield around the vessel. That's another new thing. There's actually shields now. So yeah, basically if you fly past the shield, you don't have to worry about it. They just kind of have a long-range protection type situation. New research project available. Yes, we're already aware of it. And let's tick time forward a little bit. I said let's tick time forward a little bit. There we go. That nice happy jitter going on. It just feels like it has some kind of smoothing thing that it's supposed to be doing that just mysteriously got turned off in this latest patch, because it's usually a lot smoother than this. Ah, that's some good coffee. Alright. Interceptors. They're not quite fueled up yet, but let's go ahead and send them out there. I don't know if their ammo counters and all that are working properly yet. Oh, by the way, actually full squads, or squadrons, rather, as far as UFOs go, are finally available in this one. So that's something that wasn't there before. I'm gonna have to rename that bird to the dodo if it can't figure out how to freaking do its flappy thing. If you're wondering about hotkeys, by the way, the roll keys are working. The other stuff is not yet. Although it seems like they adjust their speed very well at this point. Alright, so we got another drop site there. How long do these have to go? No idea. Alright. Let's take whoever's left here. Alright, well, we should have a whole second team, more or less. We're just minus a couple folks. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. But before we do anything else, I should go hire more people. Interesting that they have other letters available now. You may notice invisible portraits here. This is, again, just some random thing that snuck itself into the last patch. They've already mentioned that they know how to fix it, so whatever. It'll be fine. Let me see real quick if this thing's done. 1 day, 15 hours. Wonder if we can... Wonder if we can maybe order a second dropship. Oh, whatever. No, let's just get another airplane. What I'm thinking is if one of these ends, and then I get the engineer for it, and then that speeds everything up so that we can go do this one. Because I would like to bring the Mars along to show that off. It would be nice to have a little timer on this that says when it's going to go down, too. I'm going to give it till about where this line is about to reach it. Alright, is this going down? Yeah, that's going to take a while. Alright, so we're just going to go do this one. It's a farm. Should be fine. I just love that air music. I was also waiting for permission to see about posting the video of it. I just did a little recording of just that theme for a while. Just because I love having it in the background while going and working and cleaning or whatever else. It's just so catchy. I don't know. Then again, I had the same reaction to when they did the, what was it, the Tactical Legacy pack, where they redid the Interceptor theme. Just, I don't know, something about Interceptor themes, man. They're just awesome. Ah, tasty, tasty coffee. Recently found out that somehow I forgot I had an extra bottle of agave syrup laying around. This stuff's amazing. And now for something kind of different. Dang straight. So yeah, Screech, have you been playing this one? Like, have you given this one a whirl at all? All right, what do we got here? Okay, we got Scions again. As per usual, let's check our sides. I'm glad that the machine gunners are usually in the back on the sides here, because I don't have to readjust it, because that's absolutely where I would normally have them. See, I haven't touched 6.2 yet. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and pop you here. One of them is probably going to pop in from there. The spawns at this point are somewhat predictable. Again, a lot of these maps aren't, fully randomized or whatever else at this point. Just do it. Just take the shot. So yeah, you can still occasionally make impossible shots, which is fine. But yeah, shotguns spread for 4. What's it? It's 4-aught. The stuff that fires 4 pellets, right? They got that stuff. So yeah, suppression a little bit easier this time around too. They actually had one patch ages ago where just stuff would not get suppressed, and then another one where you actually had to do the direct damage in order to be able to suppress them. which now it's back to the proper formula of it just basically counts if the damage would have been threatening to them when flying by their head. And so yeah, now they're properly threatened by it. 25% chance to just ice one of my own people. Do it. Nice, you shot him right in the crotch. Let's move you up here. That poor guy has a chance to have that same thing happen, and nice. Got him right in. You got booped right in the noggin. We'll notice that these numbers, by the way, they're actually arranged by your order in the dropship there. So we don't have a 2, we don't have a... What else do we need? We don't have a 2 or a 6, but we do still have up to 10. Just a funny little note. I'm sure that'll change. It's just one of those little smoothing things. The 99%... X Division, there's a 99% chance to friendly fire. Oh wait, hang on. Current X2 run is kinda on hiatus after a terror mission on 1 foobar. Okay, that's what you're talking about for X-Div, yeah. Yeah, I saw that one. Which sucks. I mean, they'll go like that every now and then. Honestly, with X-Division for the terror missions, you really just want to, like, find a holdout spot and just friggin' wait until stuff stops coming. Because usually until you get to, like, Phase 2 or 3, you really don't want to try and push and expand, and by Phase 4, you just don't want to take those at all. But yeah, even in best case scenario, like, I haven't not done Phase 2 and 3 terror missions in that one. It's just not a good idea. Thankfully, because their AI is pretty nerfed right now, they don't have the sniff feature. For those that played Xeno 1, and actually that played original XCOM, they had a pretty similar idea there, where the AI doesn't necessarily know exactly where you are at all times. It has a vague idea. But if you're behind a wall or something like that, it'll basically hear the sound of you being there and sniff out that you're there. So there's that. And that should be your turn. So yeah, movement ranges are definitely shorter in this one, but I feel like there's a bigger emphasis on either shooting or moving. You can't do as much run and gun stuff. And ooh, we found a monkey! Hi there, little engineer toid! So you lost all good soldiers and equipment after failing a terror mission over a tank. Seriously, answer to tanks in X Division is just plink. Just friggin' shields and pistols early on work surprisingly well against tanks. SMGs and shields work really well. Shotguns and all that. It's weird, but it works. Alright, I want to capture this guy, but I don't know if I have any stun batons within range. I think all my stunners... Yeah, no, wait, I have one. They won't be able to get close and fire, but I should be able to just suppress this guy. So let's move you somewhere about there. Here, first off, let's take a quick pot shot. Alright, take another one. There we go. Now let's pull you into cover. That guy's gonna fire right here. There we go, nice and suppressed. We'll go ahead and pop you here? Here? Probably just here. There we go. Should be right in his way. Another nice change over the original Xeno. This right here, 100% blocks line of sight. So if it's a big object, it completely blocks it. You don't have to worry about, like, oh, you know, they saw one tile around, and then just sniped somebody. There we go. Probably shouldn't have done that, but oh well. See if we can maybe suppress-nate him. Let's see about putting it right there. No to use. Alright, fine. That's fine. Out of curiosity, are we still able to do that whole trick like this? Okay, yeah, you can still suppress through bushes. So that's nice. In that case, we'll have this one go out and take a little bit of a pot shot here. Good idea? God, no. There's really no reason to try and turn him around there. But I figure they're going to be safe because this one's going to go ahead and smoke nade here, which they brought in the thing from XDiv with smoke nades doing damage. But they don't tend to leave somebody in a bleed state, so that's also good. So we've just got the one shotgunner here. Yeah, you're going to want to actually properly do that smoke grenade. And so yeah, smoke grenades just completely block the ability to fire. I was mentioning that earlier, but they are now 100% safe. He cannot see them. He has no option or no mechanic to fire in between there. Oh, that is some bullcrap right there. Why do smoke grenades even have explosion visual effects? I don't know. I can't. You know, one thing I really liked about EU, is just the fact that it did do like the proper like whoosh, like it spun out there. I forget if EU did it, but I know that's some game. I want to say it was maybe X2 or XCOM 2 that that did the whole like spinning effect for it. I just love those. But yeah, I always thought the spinning effect looked really cool. I don't remember if... Correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm not, like, super up-to-date on, like, all the latest military technologies and whatever else, but to my knowledge, wasn't the spinning thing... Like, I think the spinning thing was originally for, Is it going to fall down? Yeah, there we go. So a little bit of death lag again. But I think the spinning thing was originally meant to disperse better, but then it was burning people because it just went erratically or something, and then they just had to change it or something along those lines. Again, I'm not sure if that's accurate, so correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I thought they just changed to a different version. Oof. Thankfully, their aim is as good as ours. And let's see, 35. And yeah, we got LMGs instead of HMGs, so 5 shots. Not that it does any less damage, but yeah, they seem to be a bit more accurate for about the same overall damage numbers with half as many shots. So there's that. Now, who has a medkit? Right, that one has a medkit, so the snipey's gonna have to go this way. And medicator's gonna want to go that way. Shotgunner's going to want to throw some smoke out this general direction, except he can't because of the smoke already in place. There we go, throw it that way. And then it's this one that was medicating, right? Yes. Also, medkit costs are a bit more universal in this one, so you need 20 to be able to actually heal. Just kind of throw that out there in case you're wondering why I don't go for the trickle heal here. That isn't really that much of a thing anymore. You can't, like, oh, I unwrapped half the gauze, let me slap that on there for a turn. Type of situation. As far as why the smoke grenades have an explosion sound in this one, I'd assume it's probably placeholder. There's a decent number of things that are placeholder, which you probably have seen. Alright, so they've got one bleeding wound. Another thing is that stuff that happens over time tends to be a bit more over time in Xeno 2. Like, that'll get rid of one bleeding wound. You know, they didn't take that much. I don't think they actually took any bleed that first turn. Which, I think you... If I recall, you actually couldn't bleed on the first turn in original Xeno 2, but I feel like it's a bit more forgiving in this one. Also, mind control is different. We haven't run into it yet, because all of their scions have been dead every time we've landed. Also, it appears these crates don't have their textures. Hold on. Too many A's on that one. There we go. Submit le report. Alright, which one are you? Around that corner, see if there's anything here. Like, as you can tell, the AI is not super advanced or anything right now, so in general, most of the fights are pretty safe. Stuff gets a little bit more nuts later, and actually there have been changes to how some of the races work and all that. So, for example, civilians also have a light and heavy variant. It's like the heavy ones are basically just going to be, like, just running heavy machine guns and pretty much being bulky as hell. In some early versions of this game, they came in with like 300 health right at the very start. So they were relatively slow. They couldn't aim very well, but them suckers were bulky. They would recover every round and then would just more or less bum rush. And they look like giant iguanas. Whereas the lighter versions are more like the Sebis from the original. So, Mr. Screech, any questions you've had about this one? They might be wondering about. What's up, kiddo? Yep, it's right over there. Yep, there you go. You're welcome. Yeah, so far most of the weapons, I feel like aren't the most amazingly reliable thing ever. HMG or LMGs have probably been the most reliable. Snipies are still really accurate. SMGs and all that can barely hit anything, but you know there's a backup anyway. Most of the secondaries are there as well as just kind of a you don't have enough points to use your main thing type situation. Right, well he's not bleeding, so that's fine. Like I shouldn't have enough points to round the corner and fire. But just because he had a reaction, we're just going to go ahead and move him right there. Move this guy that looks just like Phineas over down that way. You also might notice some of them have been getting points up while on the geoscape. It's a little subtle, but it's there. Basically, as soon as you build a training center, your units will start slowly gaining XP over time, so that kind of helps with how punishing the series can be sometimes. So you know you can at least go in with your corporals and things like that instead of running rookies all the time, which is good. Is good times. Prefer the old comp system of inventory? See, I think it depends. I like a lot of the ideas that they had for the inventory in this one. I will say, actually, I should probably explain that real quick for anyone that's unfamiliar. So stuff that's changed with the inventory. You actually have multiple different locations now. So you've got your primary, that's always been the primary. Shields actually count as a primary for this one. Secondaries are your medkits, any usable item that you want to stick in there, your stun batons, knives, any of that. I really don't know why you'd use a knife over a stun baton, to be honest, but whatever, it's there. Pistols and SMGs. So yeah, you can slap all those in there. But despite all of that, you can't actually use an SMG with a shield, which personally, I think that's a mistake. Like, it's not like it would completely discredit the pistol or whatever else to have it there. I would honestly run a team of both. But yeah, I would love to see the SMG being able to be used with a shield. I've seen it, you know, done every now and then in real life and all that. It's, yeah. See, if it's possible to replace soldier portraits, I'm gonna want my soldier to have a Screech portrait. Yes, sir. Well, currently renaming isn't in yet, at least to my knowledge. So, but yeah, as soon as that's possible, we'll definitely do that. And yeah, so you have your belt here, which just basically gives you your items that are available for use from this menu. You can use them at a reduced cost, and then... Actually, I believe those are your items that you can use, and then you move items from your backpack to your belt in order to be able to use them. Or your hands. But yeah. It's not that different, it's just that you have kind of a quick bar that you can select from with your belt. Like, it still has all the old stuff you were able to do before. It's just that your secondary can now be a two-handed thing that you just kind of have on, you know, on your back or in your holster or whatever else. Everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah, now that I think about it, what is different? Because, I mean, You pop your grenades on your belt. You would have had those in your cheap slot anyway. You're losing out on 3 slots here, although that might change over time. I think the reason that they did that is the original belt slots were designed as like 2 magazines and a pistol, which no one ever used it for, but whatever. So that's probably why they moved it into the secondary, so that you have your like designated pistol or stun baton or whatever else slot. And you can just whip that out whenever instead of having to swap out for your primary. So, honestly, on paper, it's just a flat improvement. Alright, don't fire. Not sure where he moved. That's concerning. I'm gonna assume he's probably over here. Or not. Interesting. Where did he go? It's either disappearing Cesian. If you're thinking, by the way, you know, he went and he hid in the UFO, they're not smart enough to do that yet. More than likely, he just went over here, just wandering. Alright, we'll just leave that guy right there. Move Snipey on behind this tree. Currently, and this probably will change, but currently they love to take bad shots at people behind objects. That's why I keep putting everybody behind them all the time. It's not necessarily that cover's gotten some amazing bonuses. It's really about the same as it's always been, just a little bit more reliable. Because it properly... okay, so another thing I should probably mention up here. The way aiming works in this one is being adjusted currently to try and be a little bit more reasonable. So for example, the Xeno 1 system, like let's say you were sitting right here. You would have a free shot over this right here, right? But then you'd have a 40% chance to hit this. But instead for this one, the way that they're setting it up is that like if you fire here, anything that is the same height as your cover will not count. If it's higher, you still have a chance to hit it. But if it's the same height as your cover, you won't be shooting straight into your cover. So yeah, it's a bit of a better system. Let's go ahead and move you hereabouts, I think. Just want to throw some smoke right here. Why that's 0%, I have no idea. These hedges definitely screw with aim in bizarre ways. As you might have already noticed, it's one of those things that causes grenade launchers to shoot at your feet instead of actually where you want them to. Like I said, the grenade launcher, really cool in premise. Currently, it is quite bugged. But I think once the game gets going, I'm definitely going to have at least a couple of those on every team. And Screech, by the way, it may not be done yet, but as far as I can tell, you should be able to replace all the portraits. I'm gonna move this guy around here just in case. I don't think anything's over here, so we probably would have gotten attacked already. But yeah. So overall, as far as the ground combat goes, I definitely think that this will end up being stronger than the original. Currently, what I'm seeing from the different interactions between, you know, objects, units, whatever else, there's a lot more going on. Not necessarily a lot more, but there's enough new stuff going on that it feels interesting. We'll assume this guy's right here and just take some plink for the hell of it. See if we can maybe suppress him. We'll have Mr. Shotgunning go up over here. Oh, hello. How did we not notice you? And this is what your secondaries are for. Just like firing a sniper with one hand, using his SMG with the other. Using his expert about to die skills there. Alright, so we need 16 to fire, so this guy's gonna have to pull it off. You can do it! Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, shotguns, I feel, are somehow... despite being considered OP in the original, they somehow got stronger in those. I feel like the spread's gotten less accurate, but the shots themselves have gotten improved. Time to have an army of Screeches. How about now? But I am going to be curious to bring in all of my old custom portraits from the X Division run. But yeah, they're just JPEGs, so there's really no reason you can't replace them. You can kind of tell there's a few differences because they've gotta layer some stuff here, but in general, it's about the same. Alright, so we'll put you here. Put you here. They probably won't be attacking. So we're just gonna bum rush the door. But yeah, because you can use either your primary or secondary for reaction fire, you kind of tend to have a decent mix of both. Feel like there's some interesting potential build combinations that can come out of that. Alright, there we go. See, the different looking directions with the portrait does make some images stick out. Yeah, so just so you know, they are still working on that. It's not a done deal. Like, for example, the armored suits and stuff like that that's supposed to be showing up on their person. It's like right now, I don't know if you saw the earlier combat armor versions, but that's what's supposed to be showing up, as I understand, for the Kevlar additions to their armor. Which currently I'm running that on absolutely everyone. So currently that's not showing up, but that's fine. You know, it is what it is. It's just barely been implemented. Alright, try again with a bit less suck. Excellent. I think that must have been the guy we scratched earlier. Alright. Now we're gonna put a smoke on there at some point. Not too worried about losing this guy, but it would be nice to have him up in the front. So let's see about getting that grenade right there. You suck. Alright, so I'm not sure where he threw that, but I think he threw it right at his feet. So they all might be dead. Alright, who had that other smoke then? Is that you? Did I not have another smoke back up here? Alright, whatever. Let's move you back here, just in case. Move you here. You're fine there. Move you here. Alright, let's see what happens. Yep, boom. Good job, Genius! So yeah, doorways, hedges, and a few other things are kind of bugged at the moment because they, because yeah, they'll occasionally have bizarre misfires like that. We should be able to stun that pilot though. Alright, this guy won't be able to fire, so I'll have him open the door. Probably just pop in, take a pistol shot. Pop. Alright, that's fine. Alright, get him put down a little bit. I want to suppress the other one too. I just want to see that one gone. Yeah, there we go. He's suppressed. Now everybody with a stun baton runs in, so that's gonna be you. Needs to stand up. That guy shouldn't have the points to run out, so we only have one with a baton right now. Let's see. Who's got points, though? Don't you do. You're actually going to patch yourself up. Gonna throw down this medkit. I said throw down your medkit. There we go. Pick up your baton. And get out of the way. And then we're going to have two that can run in and smackify that guy, and then we're done here. I will say once this gets going, I think there's enough tools on both sides to make this a little bit easier between the two. Alright. So first order of business, let me try and suppress this guy a little bit. Thankfully his aim is terrible. I'm sure the way the shots are handled will work out a little bit better in the future. Let's go get rid of that chair if we can. Alright. Didn't suppress him. That's fine, though. He's already used up his shots. Just in case it matters, though, we're going to take another quick little burst here. There we go. Nice and suppressed. Get in there and give him the old stick smack. Not on the chair. Give it to the little monkey man over here. Stun for 40. And you may notice that stun batons are working more like an X Division than they do in the original Xeno. Somehow missed that second swing. Swing and a miss. Alright. Come on, take your swing. Oh, you don't have enough to use now. Alright, whatever. End the turn. They're going to take out somebody. Boo. Yeah, she's definitely not coming back. But yeah, so Screech, just so you know, I feel like I threw this disclaimer out like 50 times already, but yeah, this is still relatively early in development and all that. So yeah, some stuff will be sticking out. Alright, are you done yet? There we go. Just falls down on top of the other guy. Actually, you know what the music reminds me of? It's a mix of the old Men in Black game, like the Resident Evil clone, mixed with Silent Storm. That's what it is. What's up, Mr. Man? What you up to? Yeah, those good out squares? Yeah. Walks away doing his little toddler strut. Man. Toddlers seriously have the sassiest strut you'll ever see. I want to see somebody recreate that on some like runway situation. Just like go in there, doing a big old toddler strut, being all happy with their Cheerios and oatmeal squares. So yeah, looking at the time here, I'm probably gonna have time for one more mission maybe, and then yeah. So that. Ooh, this guy got promoted to sergeant. These two wound up a slight tad dead. And yeah, everybody got their points. It's good stuff. Trying to see. I feel like there was something else I was missing. I guess not. Oh, one thing I should check. Do they have a death list this time around? It doesn't seem like we have a death list yet. Maybe it's over here. No. No, not yet. Yeah, I really want to show off the Mars. It's just taking a while to build. It's another day and 2 hours for that. Let's go ahead and hire a couple more people. Give me some peeps. And those accuracy scores. I feel like accuracy and TUs are probably the biggest deciders for this one. Alright, yeah, we haven't even gotten our first buildings yet. And there we go. Now the world map's working properly. I don't know why it was doing that. I think the Geoscape had some weird issues every now and then. Yes. Okay. So training center and generator are complete. Let's see what we're doing on training. Because yeah, previously you used to be able to assign them to train a particular skill. So now they just train all of their skills at random in the background. Because yeah, the way that you could min-max it when they allowed you to customize your trainings, holy crap, that mess was busted. It was really, really messed up. Like, you could basically create... Okay, so before they had the scaled TUs, before you had scaled TUs, before you had any of that, you could basically... You could create a situation where you would just put everybody into TU training, right? and it was just like a flat 25 to fire an HMG or an LMG. So you're just going and doing that over time. And eventually you get to, like, they forgot to put a cap on TUs in the early versions of this game. So you had a situation where you had somebody with like 150 TUs running around. It cost only 25 to fire an LMG. So you have this entire squad just jumping out of this death trap of a dropship and just firing like 1,000 times everywhere. Oh, it was glorious. Oh, man. It was really something else. But yeah, so yeah, they finally ended up fixing that. It's funny because for a little while they were saying that, like, oh yeah, we're going a different direction in this, and I don't think they were actually going in a different direction. I think they just didn't have time to implement it. But yeah, okay, so now let's take a look at this Mars. How do I make Mars happen? Mars 1, there we go. Skihawk. So, let's take a look at this Mars here. So he's a happy little drone with his HMG here, or his LMG. You can give him anything. Can I put a knife on the robot? Dude, I can put a knife on the robot! Yes! Oh, I'm so happy right now. Actually, you know what? He's going to be our stun robot. We're just going to put a little zappy stick on a robot. What can possibly go wrong? Can I give him grenades? Like, that would have been awesome. Just give him C4s. Can I? No, I can't give him grenades, but I can give him a stun baton. I wonder if it's gonna break from that. This is literally the first time I've actually seen this thing do anything, so we're gonna see how this goes. See, general strategy is to avoid hiring anyone with any stat under 40 for quality control. See, the nice thing is, in this one, you can just kind of go for a particular stat that you like and then just leave everybody in training. So like right now, I have 1 training center built. So that means my it'll just have 10 people. Ooh. Oh, by the way, you can hire scientists and engineers now. You don't necessarily have to get them, but every time that you do a mission, one of the side missions, it adds 1 to your available pool that you can hire. So you get maxed out and whatever else. You get more that way. It's still a work in progress. I feel like it's not quite elegant yet, but I don't know when they remove the ability to slot people into facilities, because I know there's been talk of that coming back. Because it was a cool mechanic to slot them in, but in the earlier versions it didn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, they're still trying stuff. See, Xenonauts seems to get the okay to show it. I most certainly did not, but I also didn't get the no, you can't do it, to not show it. It's a literal shiv? Yes, it is exactly a shiv. Except it runs over obstacles and things like that. But yeah, so I didn't get the okay to show it, but again, I've been posting several times, I've asked in a whole bunch of places, nobody ever gave me a yes or no, so I'm just going to assume it's in that gray area of we can't technically say yes, but we're not going to say no kind of thing. Is kind of my main takeaway from it. Anywho. Come on, where are my UFOs at? Give me my UFOs! Ooh. I would hire somebody, but we're a tad too broke for that. Okay. Completed work on the Mars. Would you like to issue orders? No, not really. They made another one, though, and we'll use that to replace our robots. So that one, yeah, we're going to go ahead and let that one be. But see, you can stick a stun baton on a shiv. Oh, I'm just so happy that you can do that. What else can we stick on there? You know what? We're gonna just stick a shotgun on this one. There we go. He's basically one of those drones from Armored Core now. Alright. Yes, I will permanently compare this with Armored Core, don't question it. Zoom, zoom goes the world map. Alien magnetic weapons are looking pretty shiny. Accelerated ballistic, yes please. Let's make that happen. Are we winning? No idea. Currently, I mean, kind of. Let's see, flat region funding. We improved our funding, yay! And we got a little bit of a... Oh, right. It just picks one. That's what it was. So when you send somebody out there... Let's see, how does this work again? Send somebody out. I think you get different stuff for the amount of people that you put in. But you get one scientist, one engineer, you improve your relations usually. So, I've been noticing a bug several times now. I've noticed this bug a few times where you just can't send people out. Not really sure what that's about, because you're supposed to be able to. So, yeah. Just, usual kind of stuff you would expect, you know. Out of curiosity, can I send one of the dropship people? No. It still says no on that. Why is that? Why can't I send people on my side missions? That's, again, a new thing from the most recent patch, because previously it was no issue to send them all out. Right, let's go send 3 jets after this one little probe. Hello there, tiny probe. Thank you for lagging the world map again. See, since your LOM stream, I define winning by how many lamps you sell to sentient teddy bears. So far we're pretty low on those for this campaign. I'd say... I think we're currently at 0. And yeah, we still got our bugged, non-heavy, heavy fighter here. We'll just let everybody charge in, because why not? And we'll let them scatter just a little bit. Let's see, have you do some left rolls. Actually, wait a minute. The bug just spread to one of my other jets. What the hell's going on? There we go. There we go. Stuff occurred. Alright. Now we go over to our peoples. And we see who's not on the dropship and make them go on the dropship. And yeah, at the moment, we don't have anyone who's, No, we got Headless Bill! We got a few people that are headless, don't worry, it's fine. They'll get better. Although this does give us an interesting take on, as far as replacing the portraits. Basically it tells us that this is layered over it, although also would probably mean that there's some hair textures. They're probably layered in some weird ways, because I saw some hair going over the lapel earlier. So I'd assume they're probably cutouts that fit into the slot, more than going behind it. Because in the original, it just went behind it completely. Either way, you know, for folks like myself that want to give that a look, that's there. 80 health is not very much. So those things are going to get broken real good. It's a little bit of a high cost for a unit that'll probably just die immediately, but whatever, we'll figure it out. I would imagine it's probably going to be like the Hunter, where they're very expensive early on, but potentially very handy for protecting some of your units. I can't imagine a situation where I'd rather send them in. Like, maybe if it's super risky, maybe you can give them a shield. Actually, they're allowed to equip a primary, so they probably would be able to equip a shield. So just having a drone with a shield sounds amazing. It actually sounds like a very realistic approach to it, too. See, Billy, you're never gonna get in life with that attitude. It means something different to that guy. I'm invisible, but HQ makes me wear a uniform because of regulations. Now I get the joke, okay. Oh my god, get ahead in life. That's a good one, I'm just being slow. Let's see, wasn't a fan of the initial X2 air combat from the demos. Of course, I suck at the X1 air game, so... It's a weird thing to get used to, but you eventually just start seeing the lines. It's kind of like Armored Core, like, the same thing is just... Like, it seems all chaotic and everything else at first, but then you just start seeing lines of, like, where exactly everything is going to go, and that's the moment when it starts becoming just second nature. Um, but yeah, the initial X2 thing was supposed to be like a series of dice rolls, and you can improve your rolls in different ways. They did eventually go back to this one because it is the better game. Um, it seems like they're combining elements of both sides though, like with customizable planes and all that. All right, come on, Mr. Shotgun Drone. You can do it. We believe in you. His shots are very expensive. Okay. There goes half his health. Please don't die. Come on, Mr. Robot. You can do it. We believe in you and your non-existent sound effects. Come on. Huh, actually, wait. The sound effects are in there. They're just super quiet for some reason. Nice. Hello. Yeah, what's up with that? Yeah, shotgun drones, very handy, it turns out. Alright, so first order of business, let's get this guy out here. Actually, no, it's not that. For some reason, the sound effects are just weird. Something went busted with the sound effects. Alright, slipping away to shovel snow. Need to excavate my car because I'm out of food and coffee. You cannot live without those two. Especially the second one. Alright, well, good luck with the snow shoveling. Yeah, we're probably going to be done here in like half an hour or so. It's going to be a little bit of a minute. But yeah, good luck with the snow. Hope it works out well. Don't get eaten by the snowmen. Gotta be careful around those. Alright. For the X1 Air Combat music, but maybe throwing a remix of the old Com EU Interception music would be cool. I love the new Air game theme. I friggin' love it. Like I was asking for permission over and over to be able to post a video of just that theme because it's so good. It's so good. But again, different strokes, different folks, and all that. Nobody falls over the same way. That joke's so dark, but... Okay, got my little drone protected. See, I think, like, right now I'm kind of... I like the drones. I like the Mars. Bear in mind it does do the whole old heavy vehicle thing where it will run over terrain and all that, so it's basically the Hunter except it takes one tile and you can customize its weapons. I feel like its health pool should be closer to 100, maybe. Although, I'm kind of reserving judgment on that for the moment, because what I'm thinking is, what if they can equip shields? If they can equip shields, dude, that'll be amazing. Let's see. Why Draco's voice sounds like a seasoned porn actor? Because somebody was into I guess, a garlic powder fetish? I don't know. Didn't see it going in that direction, did you? Bad jokes are bad. Alright. By the way, yeah, the sound effect bug, I'm not sure what's going on with that. I actually haven't seen that bug before. But seems like stuff will occasionally happen. The joys of a in-development build. Currently what I want to test is the ability for this drone right here to be able to stun something. Because it's showing that it's able to do so. And it actually can do so at a really long range. And yeah, if they can equip shields, if they can equip stun batons, I am 100% on board with these things. Because then they're absolutely worth the price. That guy's injured, but not down yet. Let's see if we can give him a little bit of a pop. Sorry, sir. We're just going to have to... Oh, whoops. You aim too good. Alright. See that one. Can take a pretty good shot at him. Pretty good. Not bad. Take a little bit of a crouch. Directions? What about directions? We don't need no directions. There's the perfect direction right here, and that direction is forward. Alright. I'm just gonna assume it's the same guy here. I'll take one of these. Why is the sound off? Yep, he's the Babs. The Babs wanted the Paw Patrols. It happens. It's funny, he just runs over. Dad, I gotta watch the Paw Patrol. And she makes a solid point. Okay, don't die from walking into his field of view. Yeah, okay. That is mysterious, but okay. How's your shot? Because that was 8 52% in a row that missed that. Man, this is the luckiest friggin' Scion, Cesian, whatever the hell you want to call him, in existence. Holy crap. How did he survive? We don't know. He's just immune to shotguns, apparently. You go ahead and take a crouch so you're not getting iced. Like we probably want to put you about here. Well, that sucks. Yeah, probably should have just left him on reaction fire. And then what's this one doing? We can probably put you hereabouts. Whoa, hi! Cheerios? Well, we're not Cheerios at the moment, but I can get you some squares. Yeah, sounds good. Hang on, one sec. And I'm back. And by the way, Gamma, I never actually saw it, so I'm not sure where you sent it. Because I did end up going back and looking for that thing, and did not see it anywhere. So, may want to double check that you sent it to the right place. Also, I'm a little bit surprised that we're 3 missions in now, and we haven't seen any civilians. And lizards. Let's see. Keep playing Mario AC1. Why is the first game the best? I don't know, but why did it get improved when they remade it as AC3? I know. 3 will always be my favorite. Silent Line a close second. It totally can work. Stunbot is real. No, it's just okay. It's basically just one of those. God, what was it? Like one of the BattleBots things, except instead of like a spinning drill, it's just a spinning like. It's just got a little arm with like a spinning stun baton. It looks like a dildo at the end. Oh no! Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Oh, please let that make it into the final version. I don't know if it's intentional, but God, I hope it is. That is amazing. Ah. Just gives so much flavor to it. The last thing I really want to test for today is whether we can stick shields on those things. Because that would be like the dream right there. Right, there we go. That one's down. And for those just joining, since there seemed to be a sudden influx of people, yeah, the sound effects are normally there. I don't know what's going on right now. This is, again, this is an in-development build, so expect some stuff to go weird every now and then. It's just how it does. And, yeah, we're pretty good here. Yeah, I'm loving this so far. And yeah, actually, one thing you may have noticed, too, is you start off with 10 party slots as opposed to the 8 from the original. Which feels pretty good. You start off with a pretty solid numerical advantage, and yeah, you can kind of get used to how everything works a lot faster. You don't have to worry about squad wiping as easily. Let the meme loadouts begin? Yes. Like, I hope that you can slap a shield onto a Mars. I'm probably just gonna end up calling them shivs, because let's be honest, that's what they are. But seriously though, how good is that? Because that completely changes things as far as the dynamic of capturing things. Because why would you send somebody in with a stun baton when you can send a robot to do it? Hi there, Sunnif. Also, I believe the game might have just frozen. Because I tried to fire at the door. Yeah, that's looking like a crash. Give it a sec. Dang it, Raphael Chevalier. Why did you do that? Why'd you break the game? Let the buffering commence. Yeah, Xenonauts 2.exe is now responding. Alright, let's relaunch it because I really want to test that shield thing. But yeah, we're here for about another 15 minutes. But yeah, let's go ahead and launch another one. Skip frames. Oh, that's why. Okay. No, stop trying to record. Stop. I said no. Dang it. Yeah, apparently it's on just permanent record mode for whatever frickin' reason. Why it keeps dying to me? I don't know. I think OBS is being retarded. Okay, you know what? Actually, we're just gonna call it right there for the moment, because it seems like OBS has decided to go brain dead. But yeah, the game crashed. Why is it doing this? Because yeah, I think it's actually OBS that freaked out here, because it's trying to record and stream at the same time, and it's lagging super hard. And it won't let me turn off the recording, which is new. Anyway, so thank you guys for stopping by today. We'll be doing another one later. I gotta get to work right now. We'll be doing another one right after lunch. Doing the whole Legend of Mana thing today. And yeah. We'll go and check out those links in a moment. I can't at the moment because it's... There we go. You can see it. Finally let me turn it off. Okay. Do I want to do the shield thing? Not because we can't even... Alright, you know what? We might have a second. We might have a second to do the shield thing. Let's just do that real quick. Let's finish off that mission, and then we're going to see if we can stick a shield on one of those robots. 2 eternities later. Oh, I know! It's being weird. Let's give it a sec. Because it's funny because it's showing video on my end. Why record when you can explore your past video on YouTube for free? Because it just does that sometimes. For some reason, OBS will just randomly start recording something. Not sure why. But yeah. But hang on, we're trying this real quick. Seeing if it's coming back. Just launched it. I'm trying to refresh it here, seeing if that brings it back. It might just be busted. If it isn't coming back yet, no, there it goes. There it goes. I think. Yeah, there we go. It's coming back. It's got more delay on it. Hey, what's up? You want some straws? Okay, yes ma'am. Be right back. Alright, and back. You can disable it on the general settings, uncheck it. More than that, uninstall OBS. No. Because I do still use recording for stuff. Alright. So, let's get this Mars over... There we go, we got sound effects back and everything. I think it might have been related to that sound effect bug, maybe. Yeah, so we're only going to do two things here. We're going to rush in. I'm going to go through the door. All that foot crunch. Maximum foot crunch! Now, what I like about these is you can have a really, really fast stun unit. And then, yeah, we'll just bum rush the door. And then once that's all well and good, we'll go from there. By the way, bit of a side note. So for all y'all folks that happen to have come from the Tactics Soaker side of things, did anybody read up on the Iron Griffin challenge I posted on the Reddit? Because I've been testing out that whole recruit-only challenge for a few months now, and I think I finally have a rule set that is probably the best way to play vanilla for anyone that's actually played the game extensively. Because crap, is it fun! Shotgun bot says hi. Shotgun bot says hi. Shotgun bot says hi. As he comes in and almost sweeps the entire thing. Yeah, dude, the Mars is awesome. Like, I feel like... yeah, it needs a little bit more health, but I'm gonna say it's probably fine if it can equip a shield. Because its speed is already redonkulous. Like, compared to your usual units there. Like, crap, man, that is... You basically... so, part of the problem with whenever you have a squad weapon or whatever else, you usually lose a lot of your rushdown units. And that functionally handles that role perfectly. If Let's see, I'm ready to play DXM day 1 on stream, only 2 days. 2 days? Oh, man! Why can't it be like a month? Dang it. I want to. I want to pick that up day 1, but I do not have the means. I cannot afford buying it right now. Like, there were 3 things in particular that I was hoping to grab at some point, but everything is stretched so thin, there's no hope of getting that day 1. But at some point I will. Like, stuff's stabilizing, but I still, like, it's not at the point yet where I can be like, oh man, new game, let me go buy it. Even if it's only, like, 1 a year. Which is weird, because that's messed up. Like, if there's 2 adults, right? One of them's got a professional career that's going pretty well, the other one's working, 3, arguably up to 5 jobs, and they're still having issues, covering expenses. Something's wrong with those expenses. But crap. It's not like we're going around splurging or anything either. Alright. So there's still UFOs active, so the sky's gonna lag. Basically, what I need to do is switch that research over. So I'm going to switch over to the fastest possible here. There we go, we got our laser weapons. I just wanted to show these off because they look real cool. Like, look at that. That just looks sexy right there. So we need materials, which will give us access to the shield, which we can then see if we can slap on a robot, because if we can do that, if we can slap that onto a robot, man, that will be the greatest. Like, already I'm loving the Mars. And its general concept and what it does, I love it. Oh, so these are some of the other events that you can do, by the way. Like right here. Well, we can't send that one, but for removing infiltrators, we should be able to send somebody out. I feel like there must be some sort of limitation to how many missions you can do or something. Because previously you could just send somebody to every single one of these and it would be fine. So I'm not sure why it's not letting me send anyone on the signal towers. Again, I'm sure that'll get fixed in the next patch. There's a bunch of stuff they already mentioned that's getting fixed. Become disabled and leech money like real men do? Nope. Saw enough people doing that sort of thing in Detroit. Like, it was messed up there. Sometimes you'd see those times when, like, you'd show up and it's like it's a rental property and whatever else, and somebody's like, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't afford rent, and then you're looking around, it's like friggin' 5 brand new TVs sitting around in boxes, fancy, everyone's ridiculously overdressed. They've got like 4 cars parked out front, and the rent's like $400. Like, dude, what are you doing here? And then you talk to folks there, and not a single one has a job, and every single one of them is leeching off some old person that they stuck in the basement, and it's like, God, this is so messed up to look at even. Then you see the ones where folks have like 20 kids running around. It's like, crap, just, what is this? So go gaming Fortnite all day and see how famous you become, get subs and donations? Yeah, I'll pass. This is a hobby, dang it. Huh. I'm gonna pause it for just a second. Listen to this music for a second. Hang on, I'll be right back. Tell me this isn't amazing. Alright, and back. Let's see. Does the Mars get reflex modifiers from weaponry? Is it okay to give them a pistol instead of a rifle? Possibly. I don't know if a lot of those modifiers are working yet, because technically the rebreathers are supposed to be messing with accuracy as well. But everyone's running them with no issues. Also, that just looks amazing right there. It looks so good. But let's take a quick peek. So first off, reflex check on people. It's not showing right there. I'm not seeing any reflex modifiers even in the game yet. Yeah, it is possible that it's just not a feature yet. I would assume they probably shouldn't get them. Their reflexes are only 25, because they seem to be a rushdown unit more than anything else. You can give them a rebreather? Why can they get a rebreather? Oh, whatever. It doesn't seem like they should be able to breathe, period, but okay. So you prefer X1's air combat music? Man, I could not disagree harder. I'm sorry, this is my favorite air game music by far. And yeah, so this isn't I've mentioned it several times now, but yeah, I believe it's just whenever there's UFOs up in the sky, it has this little lag here. It wasn't there in previous versions, so it is what it is. So Warden Vest, worn on top of technical armor. So this is basically your heavy armor variant, if you should so choose. Let's put interceptor alloy plating. So basic resistant steel plating, not very amazing. We'll get a few of those other things researched. Basically right now we're just waiting for the end of the month so we can get our sweet paycheck. See which Daemon Ex Machina comes missions like in Gun, where you have to fight in certain situations without the mech inside some bases and then run away to make it different from the usual. Why do you wish that? That's a thing. That exists. There's not that many of them, but they're totally in there. Both music are kind of very cool. Kind of want to strap my guitar and play that tune right now. I love that theme. It's as soon as I get the okay, I'm just gonna post that video because there's like for other folks that want to listen to it. I don't know what it is about it specifically. It's just I don't know. It just sounds so good. Okay, ionized plating. Oh, thank you for the subscription, Mr. Evan. How's your day going? Currently on a 7-month streak. Let's see. I can hit a button, and I got an emote for it, apparently. What is that? That looks like a person wearing a fortune cookie on their head, I think? I'm not sure. It's unclear. Instructions unclear. War fortune cookie. Okay, remove the infiltrator. That'll fix our relations a little bit. So you can see here, some of them have been going down. Like these two got hit by orbital strikes. I didn't explain that very well earlier, but just basically every week, one of them will get hit by an orbital strike that'll reduce your relations for that region. So it'll slowly trickle down. You're supposed to do these side missions in order to be able to keep up your relations with them. Again, that's kind of bugged at the moment, so you can't, for some reason I can't send out more people. But under normal circumstances, I would have cleared this entire area by now. Let's see, they're doing a raid. We're actually just going to leave that because right now I just want to test those last couple things before we have to get going here. You guys, first and last call for now. Dang it! I was about to. We were getting towards the end of this here. There we go. We got our monies. Got a decent paycheck out of that. We got a fleet survey. Got a soldier interrogation. Okay. Alien interrogation datums. Let's go ahead and put that out there. And then yeah, let's get these out and about. So first off, shield. Second off, warden vest. Let's get accelerated ballistics. Insufficient items. Apparently need alloys for that. Oh, whatever. But yeah, we'll like once a lot of these bugs are ironed out, we'll be doing a more complete campaign and all that for today. I just wanted to do a sort of discussion thing and kind of show what's going on with this one. Hopefully, won't get in trouble for it. I just wanted to say that it's coming along pretty awesome. So far, compared to many expectations that I've seen, this is definitely going in a good trajectory anyway. See, there's an infiltrator here. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. Get one of our faceless people in there. This is the most intimidating team to go send after somebody. We're so top secret, we don't even have portraits in the files. Don't I just got them? Let's see, don't even know how all those Twitch features work, but just like in stream, don't really care. Fair enough, fair enough. It just gave a button that said to thank with the whatever Lavoops is. I'm assuming it's probably a Valentine's Day thing. Let's see. Like, I guess that's like a Stay Puft Marshmallow hat on him. I'm just gonna assume it's some dude that got really confused, put a giant fortune cookie on their head, but then felt it wasn't quite good enough, so they put a Stay Puft Marshmallow hat on top of their head. Makes about as much sense as anything else, yeah? Yeah, just so you know, this isn't going to be the last one for today, like I mentioned earlier. Right now, I'm just testing if we can use combat shields on the Mars. Let's see. So we got a shield. All right. So we already know we got Stun Baton Bot. So Stun Bot, fantastic. Shotgun Bot, fantastic. Please, oh please, let this work. You crazy bastard, I can have Shield Bot. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, I love it. Let's get a mission going of some description. I want to see what that looks like. Have a griffin. Yay! Wait, what is that? I can barely tell what the hell's going on there. It looks like a bleached ocarina with a hand on top of a pile of spaghetti or something. I don't know, but I'm quite confused. Alright. So let's see. Can you... So we got that. Where's that warden? There we go. So now we get improved heavy armor, and now they get sweeter shoulder pads. They actually kind of look like the intro to Warhawk now, which I'm 100% on board for. Because that might have been some cheesy live action stuff, but god dang, I love that intro. Right. They're rating it. You may have noticed also, a lot of this stuff is a bit more... I don't want to say streamlined, but it's a lot more like instant action type of a situation. There's more raids, there's more attacks, there's more side missions and everything else. There's just more stuff going on. So yeah. So let's do this one. I just want to see how Shield Bot works, and then we'll call it for now. There's a cute animes. I don't know. How does one normally rate the animes? I really like this overworld music too. Again, kind of makes me think immediately of the UFO series, even though it doesn't quite sound the same. Again, a lot of the vibe to the music is I'm getting like a more positive 90s feel. I actually didn't check what year this game takes place in. I think it's modern day. But it really gives me a 90s feel for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Actually, it would be really interesting to have it take place in the 90s, because then you'd have all the really confusing upgrades that the militaries are trying to do at the time. It's like, let's try to give everybody all kinds of weird cybernetics and stuff. Yeah, this can't possibly go wrong. Alright. Shield Bot is go! There we go, there's the Sebbies. Alright, does shield work? Shield does a working? I said shield does a working? Sir. Sir. How bad is your reaction? Oh well, lay him down then. I'm gonna press, yeah, you can already see they're pretty decently bulky. RIP DBZA. Hmm? Why are you so beefy, sir? Looks like Wally. Yeah, they're good little Wallies. There we go. Decent bit of bulk on that boy. Oh, wait, what? Wait. Did DBZA end? Did something happen there? Please tell me they didn't friggin', like, copyright ruin DBZA. Because that would piss off so many people. So they were done making DBZA? Oh. Okay, well that's better. That's fair enough. They kind of did the entire main story, so... makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna have to test out ShieldBot here, though. Because just, yeah, if you could get like a high armor robot with a friggin' shield, you could just suddenly have an aggro drawer at all ranges. It's great. I mean, how many episodes did they make? They must have been like 80 plus at this point, right? I know there's easily months of stuff to go through. And let's see if you can reaction fire. Seems like he took a hit on the shield. Yep, so ShieldBot works just fine. Nice. Okay, so you can double their health. Fantastic. I can absolutely see running an entire team of these. This is awesome and I love it. Mm-hmm. 60 episodes? Close enough. So yeah, overall, I'd say I'm really happy with this last update. So yeah, modular armor and the what's it? Modular armor, modular jets, robots. That's mostly what they were adding in this last one, as well as some tweaks here and there. Despite, you know, the usual kinds of bugs that you'd expect, I'm really happy with how all of them turned out so far. As far as the armor goes, I'm hoping it'll get balanced a little bit better. But yeah, you can use these Marses for a lot of stuff. There's a lot of opportunities here. So, like, personally, I would say as far as a normal team, I probably would run these two in particular. Like, okay, it got taken out, that's fine. But considering you have one unit that can essentially take full fire from 3 of them, I want to see how bulky it would be. Not to mention, it seems like they reworked how shields work in this one, so that the final shield hit actually takes the entire hit and breaks, instead of just basically bleeding out into health damage, which I feel is a lot more... it's just a lot more satisfying. That's one of those things that did always bug me in the first Xeno. It's just like, okay, there's... you know... there's a guy here, they got a shield. You know, why exactly did that last shot go straight through the shield? Yes, from a realistic perspective, it probably wouldn't be taking the entire hit, but it's just, from a gameplay perspective, it's just much more satisfying. Alright, snapshot. Nice. I feel like maybe movement is a little bit too punishing at times, because you can almost never get back into cover while being offensive, but that's probably more because I'm so used to playing Xdiv at this point. Just played a lot more aggressively. Because vanilla Xenonauts was, you know, pretty much like that. But yeah, this is feeling great. Alright, shotgun bot. Probably can just go ahead and sweep all these. Let's move you here. Now I'm suppressed. Should have a pretty crappy shot on this guy. Like, this seriously just makes me think of one of those slug drones from Armored Core. Yeah, some of these awkward angle shots are a little bit weird sometimes, though. Hopefully that gets figured out. When someone is burned out after 10 years, hardly they have any new ideas, right, FromSoft? I don't know. I mean, what's funny is even if they don't necessarily have good ideas, a lot of times they've been rehashing old ones pretty okay. Like I mean, Sekiro was the natural progression of whatever the hell it was, their Tenchu or whatever it was. Like, it used a lot of the same mechanics, but did it a lot better. Other than that, the setting and everything else was just, well, they just applied their more mystical feel of how they've been doing stuff lately, and it's just worked a lot better. I mean, XCOM 2, not XCOM, but Dark Souls 2 was basically Shadow Tower remixed. Dark Souls 3 was basically like Kingsfield at some times. Not as much on the puzzles, but in terms of just the overall level design. It's just they love remixing old ideas all the time. Yeah, smoke is so much more punishing in this one. Do it! Alright, well, got one of them. Probably won't be enough for a kill, though. Yeah, I don't know why they're still making DBZ stuff. Like, aside from cash grabs, obviously, but it's just... there really can only be so much story to tell after a while. Yeah, I was kind of hoping we also might run into Wraiths this time around, but oh well. So, another interesting change from the original. Your Wraiths and things like that are actually a main unit. They're not the support anymore. So you have Wraiths supported by Androns. So... that's an interesting one. I can actually make any of these shots yet? No. Smoke is still screwing with everything here. What? I'm not even sure how that's happening right now. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have stuff to patch up, sure. You can go there. finish off that guy. I'm getting some amazing rolls here. You may notice that the panic system isn't quite in yet. Honestly, I'd be kind of okay if it never made it in. Whoa! What happened? Why'd you throw your snacks on the ground? Wait, who does he see? Oh, there's a guy right there. That's kind of the problem you can run into pretty quick with Sebbies. It's like if they don't get finished off, they just keep coming and coming and coming. Yeah, and this is probably a wipe anyway. Sometimes you question the background noise. Well, currently one kiddo's here with a bucket of toys that she just made, which she is going to bring back to the playroom right now. Right? Go bring it back to the playroom. Whereas the other one took his oat squares and was like, you know what? I'm mad, and he just slam dunks that crap into the ground. And they just do that sometimes. Dude. That could be that one Naked Gun gif right there. Yeah, they've been looking into ways to make secondaries a bit more, I guess, sensible. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're a little bit clunky at the moment. There we go. Lizard goes bye-bye. And this might still result in a win. We'll see. Because they're recovering from about one shot. They're getting hit by a decent bit more than that. Let's see, it's kids fighting with air. Yeah. I mean, air is always their worst enemy. Swear, this lizard has the greatest luck. Whoa! Yeah, I gotta say, I think there was so much smoke in the air, everyone kind of slightly got brain damage. Huh. Just slightly. Oh, this is weird looking right now. As this guy over here has found his new lizard, his new lizard companion here that he'll apparently do anything to protect. No, Lizard Ella, I gotta protect you. No! Cannot protect the lizard. You just know that would happen too. Like, it would, of all the most oddly specific things, like, there's these little crab aliens later, and you just know somebody would be like, oh, I don't know, gotta get down to some funky business with those weird crab aliens. Alright. 21 burst, yeah, that should be pretty solid. Okay, we've hit everything but this lizard. Can we maybe ice this thing already? Thank you kindly. Brain damage. Was looking away and I have no context, that's fine. Basically, well, at first my LMG guy missed like 7 shots. Missed all 7 of his shots just around a corner. At which point they fired several shots at some random construction guy, which then consequently also missed every single shot. Nope, there goes everybody. But that's fine, because you know what? It was a success. Because we know for an absolute fact that we can stick a shield on a robot. So shieldbot exists. So we've basically got the ultimate tank. Yes, they can attack back, I don't care. You have a shield guy that doesn't panic. And that's really all you need. So I'm already liking all these options. I hope the next batch tweaks some stuff. I think what we're going to do is, if this is allowed, if they don't say, like, hey, stop doing this, if it's allowed, I think what I want to do is just start a campaign on every time that there's a patch like this. And then just kind of run through real quick, see what's changed, kind of, you know, update and discuss and all that kind of thing. And, yeah. Hopefully everyone's okay with that. Because, yeah, there's more stuff to show, like, you know, how androns have changed and stuff like that. The way that Reapers have gotten bulky as hell, but yeah, for now, I only had a little bit of time here. So I'm gonna have to get going. I'm already a little bit late to do that.